Hey guys, Danny here. Today we're looking at another selfie drone. This is from JJRC. I think this might just be my new favorite selfie drone. What's really interesting about this drone is it has optical flow positioning, which basically means you have a downward facing camera which helps stabilize the drone so it doesn't drift and move around, and it actually works really well on this product. So I'm going to be unboxing this and giving you a full review. I'll be giving you some video samples and I'll be talking about the product more at the end of the video. As always, if you'd like to buy this product, you can find the link down in the description. Let's jump straight to it. Okay, let's open this up and see what we get. First of all, we've got the drone, of course. It's very lightweight. Arms feel nice and sturdy on the drone. They have quite a satisfying click to them when you fold them out. Drone feels a little bit plasticky, but it's not too bad. The arms especially feel fairly durable. Not the biggest fan of the finish on the top of the drone, but it's not bad looking. So the battery simply pops out. It's got a little switch here on the side which locks it into place. I can't actually see the ratings on this battery as it's covered by the case. You can see here the camera on the front is adjustable. Not by a lot, but I think this is enough for what you would probably be using it for. Of course, we've got our standard manuals. We've got 4 spare props. Our charging cable, and also a little screwdriver in here. I'm going to go ahead and charge this up and then we will take it for a flight test.
Setting up the drone is fairly straightforward. Of course, you just unfold the arms. Once you power it on, a Wi-Fi signal will become available which you can connect to on your smartphone. You then launch the app and you're pretty much away. To take off, you just hit the up arrow on the app and the drone very quickly takes off and goes to a pretty high height. So I didn't actually test this indoors, so I'd recommend doing this outdoors. My first impression was really good. The drone was really pretty stable. It did drift up and down slightly. You can see I have altitude hold turned on, which is in the top of the app. Just to the right you can see there's a yellow icon. So you switch that on and then you will have the automatic takeoff and landing feature. Here's a few screenshots which you can see are decent quality, but I was much more impressed with the video quality. I haven't seen a drone that has such a good camera for such a low price. So especially this being a selfie drone, that's really important, and I wasn't disappointed with the camera. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. The drone held its position really nicely. You'll see here in just a second I do a little test where I take my hands off of the controls and I see how steady the drone holds. I then actually go a step further and I push the drone to see if it returns to its position, and it actually works surprisingly well. The optical flow sensor is definitely doing its job and working brilliantly. It doesn't drift up and down too much in this little shot here, but it does occasionally when the wind picks up a little bit. Here I did a little range test. I decided to take the drone higher up and see how well it handled with the increased distance from my smartphone. This worked really well. The FPV feed stayed pretty solid, and it did throughout my testing, so that was also a big thumbs up. Again, I was really impressed with the video quality of this drone. It really is on point for the value that you're actually picking this up for. So you can see it is a little bit grainy, and this is actually quite an overcast day, so on a day with more sunlight you probably would actually get slightly better image quality, but overall I was really impressed with it. Next, I decided to test the automatic landing feature, which you initiate by just hitting the down arrow. You can control the drone as it's coming down to position where it lands, and then I also hit the automatic takeoff, and you can see it's nice and snappy, it takes off really quickly. I then put the drone onto the highest speed setting and just took it on a little flight down my garden. I found that the speed could have been a little bit higher for my liking. It did struggle a little bit in the wind, especially when I took it higher up, but this wasn't really a big issue. It just would have been nicer to have a little bit more maneuverability, but overall it worked pretty well. I got a nice long low battery warning on the drone, you can see here by the flashing lights, and when it lost its power completely you can see here it descended and landed nicely. It didn't drop out the sky, which is really good, it just landed itself. So this is always really nice to see when drones do this, as it's an extra safety measure.
I think you can tell I'm really impressed with this drone, especially for value for money. I mean, this thing is £35 on Banggood with free shipping. You've got decent camera quality that's adjustable. You've got a really nice sleek design in a small device. The optical flow positioning works really well. This thing's really stable. The controls are pretty good on this. It had really good landing and automatic takeoff. Just overall, this thing seems really well refined and really well made, and it's at such a low price. I have no problems recommending this device. I think this is a great entry-level product if you're thinking of getting into drones and you want to start off with something with quite a low value. This thing, I think itself, is going to get a lot of people into drones because it's at a low price, but it's still a really good product. So I would definitely give this product a thumbs up. Of course, it's not perfect. There were a few small things that I didn't like about the drone. The battery compartment I find is a little bit frustrating to take off and put back on. It's relatively easy to do, and I've definitely seen worse designs, but when you're putting the battery back in, you kind of have to line it up, and it's a little bit fiddly, but it's not going to cause you any issues. It's just a minor annoyance. I also found that even on the highest control speed, the drone felt like it just needed a little bit more of a faster speed setting, especially if you're flying this outside and it's a bit windy. It didn't cause me any major problems, but this is more of a preference. I would have liked a bit more maneuverability, so maybe a higher speed setting. But other than that, I didn't really have any problems with this drone. It worked really well. So yeah, I would go ahead and buy this. I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And hey, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And of course, I will see you in the next one.